Hi everyone, it's Jaden. Welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about this video today because I have a very cool new retro perspective on what had happened to me. Well, first of all, a huge part of what caused my health crash, burnout, adrenal issues, as well as the recovery process. And I've touched a bit about this, but now that I'm fully recovered for quite so long, I just have new perspectives on it when I think back, and new things that's happening in my life now that I'm fully recovered will remind me of certain things that I used to do and certain experiences that I used to have before the crash, during the actual crash, and then the recovery process too. So I'm very inspired about this topic. There's many topics, but one of the most important ones has to do with my relationship with food, the diets, and so on. So let's just jump right into this. Growing up, I didn't know this at the time, but I actually had a very awesome relationship to food because I was raised with, food being an authentic, what's the word? Like, my family just, really emphasized on cooking at home, making things from scratch. Most of my family cooked. I grew up in a multicultural family, so there was many different types of cuisines going on that were all authentic. Grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, everybody cooked. Everybody, they were passionate about food and the quality of food and eating well. But there was no huge emphasis on all this other stuff that, new science and kind of like Western medicine and just all these studies that started to complicate things and made things very calories, macros, this nutrient, that nutrients, and all that. And while that's all great, I'm not against all that, but hear me out. Let me just go through this. So, and what was really good and healthy about my relationship with food then was that I ate in abundance, and I ate without guilt, without thought much. Like, I didn't think, oh, this is 5 calories, this is 100 calories, this is a macro, this is a carb, whatever. It was all about food was very much a good time. Like, meal times are very much an enjoyable time. There's a lot of passion and authenticity in the food that I was eating because that was just the way I was brought up, and that it was important to eat. You shouldn't be hungry. And it was very simple. It's like, you're hungry, you eat. And you eat good food, and you enjoy your food, and you share the food with people you cared about. So I had always been never had weight problems, never had much health problems, never had blood sugar issues, didn't get sick that much. I was, very athletic, very young. I never had energy problems. Performance, I've always performed well in the sports I played and stuff like that. However, fast forward to me getting into TV, film, acting, commercials, touched a bit on modeling. It was so look-based. And it was funny because at the time, I had an 8-pack. It was like I naturally just was very fit. And I was muscular, and I didn't think much of it. Okay, it was like, that's just the way it was. But after gone into the industry and started just reading about, different fitness stuff, and being also influenced by the media and everything, I started to get in my head with it. And so I started this massive journey of overcomplicating food and nutrition. And I don't regret any of it. You know, I learned a lot of stuff as well. And without this whole experience, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I'm very happy with who I am today. But yeah, it was definitely a major shift where I started being self-conscious about the food I was eating, and my brain got more involved than it should have now that I'm here and understand all that I understand now. You know, it was like I started to learn about calories and macronutrients and micronutrients and proteins, fats, carbohydrates, different types of diets. And I started to kind of start to fix something that wasn't broken. You know, I had probably like easily sub 10% body fat, performed super well. Like I wasn't tired. And I ate literally whatever my heart desired. Now, that doesn't mean my cravings were, you know, ice cream bowls and sundaes and, you know, whatever you think it's bad food. And that's actually even like irrelevant in the sense of what I'm about to tell you. But you know, my cravings were like good food, you know, pastas, like, yeah, just authentic good food, right? You know, vegetables, salads sometimes. You know, I liked certain desserts. I didn't really have a sweet tooth, but you know, I certainly enjoyed ice cream and you know, and regular ice cream, not like low fat or anything like that, not low sugar. I didn't think about sugar, nothing. I had it made pretty much, but I jumped into this thing where I started analyzing, and it was kind of the thing that everyone was doing, and the media made it, you know, special. So I thought, being the extra credit person I am, I was like, okay, I'm gonna really get buckled down this. I'm gonna learn this. I became a personal trainer in the process, and it just took me down this road that was just a major lesson where, because I was complicating things, I lost touch with how I innately was built to eat right. And I started, you know, counting, planning, and everything, obsession over food, obsession over fitness, in the way where it was not out of inspiration, it was out of obsession. It was like, oh no, like, these are the calories I'm eating, these are my meals, I'm, you know, gaining this or whatever, all that stuff, which I have zero interest in anymore in that sense. So it was the beginning of me messing up what was actually so, like, I was so blessed with in the beginning, but it took years, like a good 8 years or something down that path, that I ended up in that health crash. That wasn't the only thing. I was obviously very stressed out in many other ways too, but that the relationship with food and the diets, you know, with the keto, with the intermittent fasting, I mean, I've done every single diet. Like I've said this before, I was raised like predominantly vegetarian. I did eat, you know, once in a while proteins if I wanted to growing up. It wasn't like a taboo, but it was just mainly not animal products. But we didn't have a thing against animal products. It was just that we just didn't eat that much. There was no restriction. It was just the way it was. Like, and all the ingredients we used in my family was like local or like homegrown or just like high quality organic foods. We didn't think about it. That was just the way that it should be in our family. So yeah, anyways, so then into that journey of destruction in a way, it was, you know, overcomplicating things. I started eating things that they didn't taste good to me. Like, I didn't want to eat a salad, particularly, you know, just with chicken breasts. I didn't want to, like, cut out the fats or cut out the carbs or eliminate sugar. I didn't, like, innately, my body just yeah, I didn't want to do any of that, but I thought it was the right thing. My brain kind of overrode my instincts. And what now I see in retrospect is that I began malnourishing myself and kind of dieted myself out of really good health. And you would think that with all that, my body would look even better, right? No, it was the opposite. It was like 3 years into doing all that, I started having problems. Like it wasn't effortless anymore. Like I had to work at keeping my body fat percentage a certain level, which is again, such an influence from being in that, or being in the business, still am partially. And me not being mature enough, had the wisdom enough, and awareness enough to realize, like, Jaden, that's not fully you, and you don't have to do that. Your special qualities come from you, your unique body makeup. It's what's going to be, and you should honor your intuitive instincts of eating, of high quality and what you want, because your body really does know what it wants. And, definitely don't go hungry. Like, it's not right to go hungry, guys. Like, and it's not right to restrict. It's just, there are so many scientific studies that is showing that each time you go through a diet, you've raised your body's average weight, because diet is famine, and we are not designed for famine. So even if you diet a little bit, you're in a restrictive mode, your body freaks out into fight or flight. It adds to all this health crash stuff. And once it can't take it anymore and you go off to diet, it will rebalance itself by, you over consuming, which is actually a good thing. It's trying to save you because you were in a famine. So, but after that, what you're training is you're gradually training yourself to hold more and more weight and fat, because the body knows it doesn't want to starve again. And people do this, and I did this with different diets over and over again. So you go from super lean to gaining some weight extra to a higher weight, and you freak out, so you diet. It's just this like a never-ending cycle. Your energy plummets, your blood sugar starts having issues because you're not eating the right foods that your body wants, things like sugar that your body needs. Okay, like there's not taboo. So anyways, fast forward to now, having gone through that and healed all that, what I've realized it's just, and it's like I was doing this in the first place. There's no forbidden foods. Seriously, not even like, I don't even know what example, but like whatever, like Twinkies, fries, whatever, potato chips. Not even those things are bad. Okay. And if you are optimal in health, again, just side note, I should have prefaced this video. I am not a medical doctor or a health professional, so please consult with your health professional of your choice before taking on any health advice. These are just my thoughts, my insights, and my experiences. Okay, so back to the main story here. So there's no taboo foods, and there's no superfoods. It's just whoever is eating it at what point, what they need. And no one, and no program, and no diet, no doctor even, is going to be able to tell you this. You will know this because you're going to crave what your body needs. Okay? Now, if you've been dieting, or if you've been mistreating your body, and you're on this rebalancing swing where you're craving everything and you want to eat everything in sight because you've been depriving, your signals are, in that moment, is to get you refueled, recharge your systems, recharge the organ damage you've probably done with malnutrition and, fasting or dieting. It doesn't have your aesthetics as a priority, right? So it's trying to heal itself. So you're gonna gain weight, and those are right instincts. You'll probably want to eat ice cream because fat and sugar is going to help you regain the unhealthy weight loss that you did to yourself and the unhealthy tissue damage and whatever. And that is a huge part of our recovery from the health crash. It's eat, and eat all the time. You cannot go hungry, right? And I know there's a lot of you that are healing, but what your resistance against is the weight gain. And I had that during the healing, and I just surrendered to it. I've realized the damage I did. The priority wasn't to look like a six-pack fitness model. It was to not die, right? And so my instincts were very, very specific for that. At that time, my body was telling me, eat. I was craved, like I just ate. And so, but once you're rebalanced, it takes some time. It's not just like, a couple of weeks of that. No, I mean, if you've been dieting, if you've been stressed out, if you've fucked up your body in those ways for so many years, it's going to take time for it to recharge itself. So once it does, your instincts and what you crave just goes back to what it needs. I generally crave quote healthy things. Again, like for an easier reference, I'm just using that term, but like really there's no again, good, bad foods. It's just neutral. It's just food. Okay. It's what you need, who you are at that particular point in time. So listen to your body, guys. Okay. Even through this whole health crash, it is so powerful. It knows what it needs to heal. So just listen to your body. Give in to the rest. Give in to the wanting to eat. Give in to the weight gain that's going to come from it. And fuck that whole, if you're not in shape or skinny or whatever, you're unhealthy. No, they're not going through that. And also nobody gets to tell you what it's what. Your body knows what it needs and what it needs to do, okay, to thrive and to be optimized. Really just surrender to it, be on this path. Eventually what will happen is you'll have gotten enough recovery, your appetite will change and your weight will stabilize and you'll start to lose weight and you'll start to want to work out, phase 4, phase 5. And it's like this natural process, okay? And you have to trust it. I had to anyways to get fully through it. And then once you're back to yourself, and for me, I hit that epiphany of this freaking, dieting bullshit it was evil. And though I still want to be high performance, I still want to be an athlete, an optimal athlete, I really had to work on myself to undo needing the aesthetics to go hand in hand with it. Okay. So I had to daily practice. It's not about the 8-pack. It's not about, it's about first the health, then the performance, and then the energy. So I had to trust it. And as I got along down that path, as I went along that path, something really magical happened where I kind of returned to who I used to be when I was younger, where I just trusted my eating instincts, and my relationship with food became simple again. I stopped doing any of the dieting, any of the counting, any of the food groups, any avoiding things, any taboo, afraid of good tasting things. And I just trusted myself and I ate, and when I had energy, I did the workouts I love. I got myself back to the same, if not better shape physically without trying, and still being able to enjoy all the food, no dieting bullshit anymore. And I feel like a happier person in that sense, because there's so much less stress. Okay, my performance, health, everything back, and if not better than ever before. So I just feel very passionate about it. I wanted to share this. I just see a lot of that in my Facebook group, which you haven't checked out, go ahead and check it out. And like, you know, my comments on my YouTube, you guys are doing those of you who are following along this path, or you're doing the right things, but then you're getting sidetracked into thinking, oh, but I'm eating all this stuff and I'm just not doing anything and I'm lazy. That's what you need right now. And there will be times where you think you've done enough of it. And it's like, God, I've eaten and rest enough. I've gained weight. Like, it's time to do something else. It's not time until it is time. Okay? If you're still in it and you still feel that way, it is still what you're meant to do. I'm not kidding you. I had to trust that myself too. And if anyone is a perfectionist with everything and have that challenge going against them, it's me. Okay, so if I could do it, I think most 99.99% of people out there can do it. Okay, it was not easy, but for your health and your happiness and gaining what you truly want, please do it. But again, I'm not a doctor or a health professional. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you like me sharing these things. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.